My name is Joy. I'm a writer working on what will hopefully be my debut novel. I'm currently calling it Project Phoenix, and it's a high fantasy with a romantic subplot. Although more and more I'm wondering if I can even call it romance because I don't know if there's going to be a happily ever after. I haven't really decided. Actually, the book I'm working on, I think definitively now at this point, is going to be a duology, so we're gonna be working on this for a little while. I do want to just level with you. I feel like the last couple of months have been really great in terms of my drafting pace and my ideas. Like, I've just been feeling so good about this project. I don't know, man. This week, I've been in a complete and total funk. I've been feeling really negative about my writing and my plot and like what's going on in the story right now. And I think that part of the reason I'm feeling this way is that number one, I'm just tired. And I've been viewing a lot of things in my life. The last few days specifically, I've been viewing a lot of things in my life through a negative lens. I feel like I'm not keeping up with my running enough. I feel like I'm not active enough on YouTube. I feel like I'm not doing a good enough job on my part-time like real job. I feel like I'm not keeping up with the house enough. I feel like I'm not spending enough time with my family, yada yada. Like, I just have been having a lot of these negative narratives, and especially about my writing in particular. I'm like, oh, this isn't any good. Like, nobody's gonna like it. It's gonna suck. Da, da, da. Like, I just have been telling myself all these lies, and I know that they're lies. I know that they are just like, I'm just in a period of being discouraged. To be honest, I'm probably just low on vitamin D because it's January as I'm filming this. Is probably not going to come out till February. We're in the thick of winter and I haven't been getting enough sunlight, and your girl is actually just a plant in disguise. I think that a lot of these like spiraling emotions, normally I feel like I'm a pretty stable person, but sometimes I will get in like little funks like this where I've just been feeling, it's like a little ball in my chest of like, ugh. And my goal this week as I'm filming this vlog is, you know what? I want to push through it together, and you're going to be my accountability, because I think the problem that I'm having is that I am in a point in the story where I thought that the plot was going to go one way, and I'm realizing, okay, every time I sit down and try to plan something for this dang book, when I sit down to write it, it doesn't come out the way that I planned it. And I think that just might mean that, at least for this book, I'm a discovery writer. Because the problem is, it was so neat, like the way that the plot sequence I had in my head, it was gonna be so good, but then when I sat down to write it, I realized, oh my gosh, my main character, Vera, would never do this. Like, she would never let this happen. She would never trust this person enough to go along with them. As I was like in her head writing her experience, I was like, she would never do this. And so then I came up with a fun idea of having her do something else, which is causing a lot of problems for the plot and the pacing and the everything. Oh. I'm trying to ride that tension between, okay, they're your characters, you can take control of them, have them do whatever you want, but also from the precedents that I've set thus far, like, I want her actions to be believable. I don't know, maybe I should be flexible and just like see what happens, and maybe it would be better than what I originally planned. So I'm kind of trying to ride that tension right now. It's been taking a lot out of me. It's been draining me. It's been making me feel stuck every single time I sit down to write. And what I think I probably need to do is potentially spend the time to write out both scenarios and see which one I like more. That just feels like really daunting to me for some reason. I know some people will write and rewrite the beginnings of books and different scenes and like write them from different perspectives and just see what works. I've never really done that before. I've rewritten things, but I've never held two different versions in tension with one another. And that just feels like so scary to me for some reason, because what if I don't know which one I like more? And then I like sunk so much time and effort into it. And I know in the end, the fruit of my labor will show regardless, because, you do like twice the work and obviously you have half the yield if you do something like that. But of course, it's better quality. You know what you want. You feel more confident in your decision. But the thought of doing that and the thought of figuring that out, I don't know. So I think I'm just in a point of indecision, and that's making me feel less confident in my choices as a writer, because as I always like to say, writing is a series of a lot of choices that you have to make. So at the end of any writing session, I end up getting like decision fatigue. And I don't know if any of y'all know about the Enneagram or anything like that. I don't like hold to it super closely, but the descriptions of my type are very accurate. Especially if you like dig really deep into it. So I'm a 9-wing 1 on the Enneagram. And I enjoy personality tests. I know nobody can be like put strictly into a box, but suffice it to say, having to deal with like the conflict and the decisions and the I get like overwhelmed fast, I feel like sometimes. I don't know. I'm just not a very decisive person. And I think that's part of the reason that I'm feeling this. I'm like, I can't just like do something confidently. I'm like overthinking all of it right now. So yeah, that's sort of where I'm at the moment. Normally my goal has been to write 4,000 words a week. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that this week, because I think I'm gonna have to spend a lot of time. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could count like anything that I write, like brainstorming towards my word count. I haven't really been fully doing that for everything. I mean, sometimes I will make like scaffolding and notes for myself in the draft itself, and that will count. But if I'm like making a bunch of notes to myself about like, oh, I want to change these things later, or hey, these are kind of notes about how I'm thinking the magic system is gonna work, which I'm still kind of in the process of figuring out, which is also making me feel really insecure. At this point in the story, magic hasn't been super present, but it's about to be more present. And now I'm like, well, I've got to figure out exactly how this magic works. I'm leaning towards it being a little bit more on the soft side. I just finished reading Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson, and he has such an in-depth magic system that it almost made me feel like insecure. I don't have it all figured out. And like my book is not Mistborn. Oh my gosh, no. Like my book is so not Sanderson style like at all, I feel, which is fine. I don't know. See, I'm just getting caught in like the comparison game and in the, is anyone gonna like my book? And I shouldn't be thinking about that right now. I need to extinguish all of those voices and just like get the dang thing done. So I don't know what my game plan really is gonna be. I feel like I was like, okay, here's my game plan. I don't have a game plan. But I think that it's helpful for me just mentally and emotionally to have a vlog going, because it holds me accountable. You know, it's like I'm going to sit down and write because I'm recording a video of it. But I don't know if you can hear him crying, but my son just woke up from his nap, so I guess I'm not going to be writing right now. I was thinking about it, but he woke up early, so. And I'm telling you all this largely because like it helps me to process, but also I hope that it helps you to not feel alone if you ever have felt stuck. But okay, yeah, my son needs me, so we'll talk later. Oh my, I haven't really tried filming here first thing in the morning, so that's not gonna work. Well, this is just gonna have to do. Also, if you're wondering why there's a railing here, it's because this is the attic, technically speaking, and yeah, it protects you from plunging down to your death because there's stairs right there. So I hope that you enjoyed my little mundane morning. Not shown was me also wrangling my children, getting them dressed and ready for the day, and feeding them food. My sustenance is coffee. I promise I will eat a proper meal soon. I just first thing in the morning does not work for me because I get like nauseous if I try to eat. I don't know why. I've just always been that way. Unfortunately, I did not get any writing done yesterday after filming that little tidbit and my son woke up. The day just sort of devolved into breakneck pace from there because I had some work that I needed to do and then I needed to get the house clean because we had company over in the evening, and yeah, it just did not work out. But today, this morning, the kids are playing independently. I'm very fortunate that they seemed to have inherited mine and my husband's vivid imagination. So currently, my daughter is creating a disco for her stuffed animals, and that's going to take her a while because really she's just making a disaster of my house downstairs, but at least I have a few moments of peace to write. And frankly, my son either watches her play or he plays with like blocks or whatever else he finds. And I fully expect to be interrupted multiple times while I try to write, but that's fine. That's just kind of my life. My life is a series of interruptions being a mom of 2 young kids. But yeah, I wanted to squeeze in some writing time. Now, honestly, some of it might also be a little bit of world building, fleshing out my magic system, that sort of thing, because up until this point in the story, the magic system hasn't really mattered that much to the plot, like the way that magic works. It does in a small part, and that's the part that I have figured out, but the nitty gritty of, oh, magic actually being like acted out, like people actually using it, like how does it work? I think what I mean to say is I know why people have magic and how mana works and that sort of thing, like what fuels magic, but the like, oh, but what does magic actually do? That's something that I've had ideas for, but I haven't actually parsed out completely. I'm not thinking that this is going to be a super hard magic system necessarily, but I want to figure that out. And I don't know why. I just haven't, like, I've had a vague idea in my mind, but I haven't actually sat down and parsed it out yet. So I'm probably going to do that this morning, in addition to maybe I'll get some words down for my rough draft. But again, I'm kind of in a stuck spot right now, and I might need to just brainstorm a lot of different options and directions and ideas before I can move forward again. And again, like I thought that I had it all planned out, but nothing goes according to plan for me. What it is, I guess. And I do have to go to work relatively soon. Normally I work from home, but I have to go in today for some meetings. I'll also work on a project while I'm there. I'm thinking it's probably going to be like a 5-hour day, 5-hour to work day. And I'll get home, make dinner, clean the house, get the kids to bed. That whole evening routine. I would love to go for a run today too if I can, but I don't know how I'm going to squeeze it in. But for now, I'm going to focus on writing. I think I can probably write for at least an hour, an uninterrupted hour. So let's do that now. got back from work. I'm very tired, but we're living. Actually, let's do a little fit check. Why not? I don't know. This is, what is it called? A quarter zip? Listen, I grew up in South Florida, so my schemas for like long sleeve shirts and sweaters and it's all been mixed up apparently. Like I'm still learning the terminology for all the different things that are long sleeve that you can wear. I thrifted it. I think it's Izod, and I cropped it because I like it that way. And these pants I actually literally just bought from Old Navy. They're cute. I like them. I got them for like $11 because they were on clearance, and I've been wanting a pair of like gray jeans, kind of. Oh, and Docs, of course. Yeah, that's my fit. I work in a very casual workplace, if you didn't gather that. My mother-in-law can watch the kids for about 30 more minutes, so I really want to bang out a quick run because I've been desperately craving a run. I have not been able to adhere to my typical workout regimen the last few weeks because it's been, first of all, extremely cold, and I've also just been extremely busy. So yeah, hasn't really worked out. I also hate running on treadmills, so like forget about that. Like no, it's running outside or not running. The rest of the day after I go for a run, I'll probably shower, and then my husband's out today, so I'm gonna be solo parenting with the kids tonight. So I gotta make us dinner, get the kids ready for bed, probably fold some laundry, get the kids to bed. You know, from there, I guess, yeah, declutter the house from the absolute tornado that my children wreaked upon my house. Welcome to my life. And then, yeah, I mean, if I'm lucky, I will have some time this evening to write or read. I guess it just depends on my energy level, like what I'm feeling. I'll probably do one of those two things, but yeah, I just wanted to do a quick check-in, and that's, yeah, that's right, Alphonse. Yeah. Oh, your claws, sir. Hello. I was able to get quite a lot done there. I ran 2 miles, I made dinner, I got a shower, I got the kids ready for bed and in bed, and I decluttered the house. I did not fold the laundry yet, but part of the reason for that is that I happened to see that Brielle is having writing sprints right now. She's live with some other wonderful people, and so I missed the first sprint because I needed to get the kids in bed still, but I think that I'm just in time now to jump into the second sprint. I'm kind of really just leaping in here. I haven't really settled in at all. I'm still slightly out of breath from running around the house cleaning up. Okay, would you look at that? I still have 2 minutes until their current sprint is up, and it's a sprint with Brielle, Alyssa, Amina, and Ari. So it's a very fun crew. I'm very excited. It'll be nice because they're going to chat for a little bit, so I'll get to like get my bearings and stuff while they chat and review like what they wrote. So yeah, while I'm waiting for this to finish up, I realized while I was cleaning up, like, I don't know if I ever mentioned like exactly what I got done earlier today when I was writing for like an hour. And as far as the first draft goes, I only, put in maybe 100 words into the draft itself, but I was able to write 1,000 words of pure brainstorming and magic system configuring. Like, I just dumped everything that was in my head and kind of from the notes that I had in random places all in one spot. I was like, okay, this is how it works. And I was able to come up with a few ideas. It's not 1000% set in stone, perfect exactly the way that I was envisioning. We're getting much closer, and we're at a point now where I feel a little bit more comfortable with, okay, like these are some of the limitations, practically speaking, of the magic system. And this is kind of, I know what I need to know, I think, to mostly finish the draft. Like, I know what magic can do, like what it's capable of in its different forms, and I know what the limitations are. And the specifics, like I was trying to decide, okay, do I want it to be like incantation based, or do I want it to look different? Like I don't know, the aesthetic of it can wait, and if there's a language that they have to speak to make the magic happen, that can wait. Like I don't need to worry about that right now. But as long as I know what the limitations are, practically speaking, I can finish the first draft and be fine and fill in the rest later and make those decisions later, because sometimes I have a hard time committing to things like that. Oh, but it looks like they're live and they're ready. So I guess I'll check in with you after I'm done with whatever writing sprint and whatever writing I do tonight.
Like exactly where I wanted to go with it. Like I have an outline, but a lot of times it's not like specific enough. But then I remember, and so
Okay, it is 10:15 p.m., so it's quite late. I joined that sprint. It was a 30-minute sprint, and I did a little bit more brainstorming and world building for most of it, but then for like the last, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes, I cranked out like 400 words, and then I decided to continue writing for a bit. So at this point, I've now written over 1,000 words. Hang on, what was my total for today? I entered it in a track bear. Okay, 1,142 words is today's total added to the draft. And then on top of that, I did like 1,500 words worth of brainstorming, world building, magic system, construction, that sort of thing. So all in all, I think that that's a pretty successful day, especially considering I had a pretty full, busy day, also taking care of the kids, doing a bunch of stuff around the house, working my like actual job, that sort of thing. I don't think I'm gonna get to the laundry today, but that's fine. I'll just do it tomorrow. I might also edit a video after this, like until 11 p.m. and then wrap up, go to bed with a book. I'm actually currently reading The Tenant of Wildfell Hall in tandem with Royal Assassin and the second book in the Mistborn series. I kind of started all three of them, but I think I'm going to try to focus on finishing Tenant of Wildfell Hall first. But anyway, back to my writing. That's a complete tangent. This happens when I'm tired and like loopy. Actually, no, this happens normally every single time that I talk in front of a camera. So this brings after today, and then last week I didn't do a special vlog or anything, but I wrote over 4,000 words last week. So that brings my total word count for my first draft right now to 65,553 words, which is exciting. I know that I do have a lot to delete. I think I'm definitely an overwriter. I'm realizing, because I do a lot of processing and then I don't always delete that processing. So I'm going to have a lot of refining to do. But I think it'll all probably balance out in the end, because I know that I have some other things I need to add. Like I have a whole chapter that I'm going to need to add at the beginning of the book, I think. So this is shaping out to be a long book. But it's fine. I sort of anticipated something in the realm of 100K for this draft, and I'm hoping that I can stick to it. I'm realizing I have like between 35,000 and 40,000 words left to draft, which on the one hand feels like a lot, but on the other hand, it doesn't feel like a lot at all. It feels like I can absolutely do that. That's kind of crazy. I opened this vlog feeling very discouraged and negative about my project and about my writing and about a lot of things in life. I think a lot of that was just me being exhausted and needing some time to rejuvenate after a busy week and kind of get back into the swing of things. I honestly think that, for me at least, the best cure for feeling negative about my project is to just push through it. Because if I were to just not go back to my project and I were to just let it simmer, I feel like all of those negative feelings would continue to simmer along with the story. And I would get into my head and all of that negativity would percolate and build until I felt a mixture of guilt and anxiety surrounding the project and just didn't want to touch it. because I'm that kind of person. I have a tendency to not want to deal with negative things. If I grant myself enough distance and procrastination, I could very easily fall into avoidance. But I honestly think that tackling this head on and persisting has been, number one, a character building exercise and experience for me. But also, number two, I don't know, that's just a practical thing that I want to keep in mind for the future. If I'm ever feeling negative, I just need to get in there and solve the problem. I just need to get into the weeds, process, brainstorm. Really, it's easy to start to feel like you're out of control of your project, but the beauty of creative projects and the beauty of writing is that you can change things. You have so much freedom, especially if you don't have, like, I literally don't have anyone that's reading this story. I'm not beholden to anyone. I don't have an agent. I don't have an editor. I don't have anyone. I have so much freedom with this project. I don't need to worry. Like, I can always go back and change things. And the best thing for me to do for my project is to just push through and to solve the problems and to confront it head on. And I think another thing that helped me too is, frankly, the live writing sprint, coming alongside a bunch of people that are chatting about their own stories and their books. As you saw, I actually watched quite a few writing vlogs today, kind of while I was cleaning and making dinner, that sort of thing. And honestly, just hearing other people talking about their projects was so inspiring to me, made me feel excited about my book again. It gave me the heart to kind of tackle things. And then, of course, the writing sprint, as I already started talking about, sitting down and being like, okay, I'm going to sit down for 30 minutes alongside all these other people, and at the end of it, I'm going to give them an honest record of how much I was able to write. And I don't know, it's that accountability piece and that community piece, and everyone is so encouraging to one another. I'm frankly so thankful to the writing community and all the people involved that make these writing sprints happen, because yeah, it can help you get out of a rut. I think in my future with Project Phoenix, I am going to have, I don't know, I'm just realizing I feel like there's just going to be so much revising. Honestly, I'm feeling really tempted to go back to some of these previous scenes and tighten them up, but I fear that doing that might actually make me feel more discouraged, since I feel like I've mostly pushed past the discouragement, but I am feeling still maybe a little bit sensitive. So I think the best thing for me to do is to just push through it and solve the problems later in revision. In this moment, I know, even when I try to outline things, even if I have a decent idea of where the story is going, I am such a discovery writer, and I'm just not gonna know the full picture until it's right in front of me. So if I go back and try to edit all of this stuff, I just know that without having the full picture, it's just gonna be way too challenging for me to even know what it needs to be and what it needs to look like and how each piece needs to fit into the puzzle. So that's sort of where I'm at. I'm feeling that tension of, I really want to go back and edit and feel like I have some recent scenes under my belt that can almost prove to myself that I'm a good writer and that I know what I'm doing, but I don't need that validation yet. Now is not the time. I do love, honestly, like, revising and editing. I just need to lock that version of me in the other room so that I can write more freely. That's sort of where I'm at and what I'm feeling. And I've always been the person that would be like, oh no, like, I want to go back and edit things. At this point in the story, I don't think that I can do that right now. I just need to finish it. I need to finish the dang draft because I'm so close. I mean, I'm still kind of far, but so close. But yeah, it's late, so I want to go cozy up, read a book. I still might edit a video first, though. We'll see. I'm ridiculous, but okay. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like. If you're interested in these writing vlogs, I have a whole bunch of them. I have like a whole playlist that you can follow along on my writing journey. These videos have honestly been so delightful to record, and they've been super encouraging to me to create them, and I hope that they've been encouraging to you as well on your own writing journey. See you next time. Bye!